Welcome to Settlers of Catan't Even, where we talk about conspiracy theories, current events, and whatever else pops into our minds, all while playing one of our favorite games, Catan. I'm Katie, and I will be the moderator for this week. Today, our players are Maegan, Ben, CJ, and Jasmine. Today, we are playing the Heading for New Shores board. Same rules apply from last episode, however... If you forgot or are new, you can check down in the show notes for a brief explanation. I think the only difference in this board is that you gain 2 additional victory points when you land on a new island. And then how many victory points do we need, or do you need? I'm not playing.
14.
14.
So you need 14 victory points to win. All right. And I don't know if anyone's getting a kick timer this week. I think last week... Was it Jasmine?
Jasmine got one last week.
It was Jasmine.
Yeah, last week it was Jasmine.
But it's okay because she was able to astral project.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I made up for it.
Good. You're able to contribute to the show more by experiencing that for us. I'm glad you got to experience that, I guess. I don't know. Well, let's see what the board looks like.
Well, the board's not too bad, and Jasmine gets to go first,
Ooh.
and I get to go last.
Ooh, lucky you. What's been going on since we last talked? Anything fun? Anything new?
You want to kill cats?
Well, I have not.
My terrible upstairs neighbors moved out.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Ooh, that's very nice.
I don't think we've done anything exciting.
No.
Oh, our landlord's mom came to our house today.
Ooh, why?
Oh, yeah, tell us that story.
It's not really a
fun.
story.
We just had to renew our lease, and so he sent it with her to bring down to us.
We considered asking the complex, though, if we could move to the unit above us so that no one will live above us.
That is a fair question.
I don't know.
But then
I don't know if I really want to carry all of this stuff up a flight of stairs.
I don't think I could live in an apartment again with people above me. I don't know. Everyone is so quiet tonight.
We're picking our pieces.
I'm drinking coffee at 6:45
Yeah, I was really trying to
tonight.
figure out just where I wanted to put my pieces.
That's fair. What kind of coffee are you drinking?
So this morning I made a pot of the HEB cinnamon hazelnut.
We got new coffee beans. It was vanilla almond, so we'll see what that tastes like. We haven't tried it yet. We'll let you know.
Hopefully like vanilla and almonds.
Hopefully. It's HEB brand, so if you don't live in Texas, you don't have HEB and you are missing out, I'm really sorry. So.
I mean, there are even people in Texas that don't have HEB. I didn't experience it until I came to college because Dallas doesn't have HEB.
That is true. They are really a southern Texas thing.
Wait, Dallas doesn't have HEB?
No, the farthest north you can go and still have an HEB is the north side of Waco. As soon as you leave Waco, there's no more HEB.
No,
but there are still central markets.
So wild.
Yeah, there are central markets in North Texas, and so periodically there'll be like a really exciting thing. It's like, oh, HEB bought land, and the DFW area is HEB finally going to expand, and then no, it's just central market.
So, what grocery store did y'all go to growing up? Not that anyone cares, but for some reason I do.
Well, no, it's kind of interesting. So in our old house, we lived down the street from a grocery store called Minyards.
Maegan, do you have
So we'd go to Minyards.
Sorry. No.
Okay.
And then right next to our church was a Kroger. So sometimes we'd go to Kroger. And if we wanted to be really fancy, we would go to Tom Thumb.
Ooh.
And then we moved. We were still in the same city, but like opposite side of the city. So we didn't go to Minyards anymore. So we would go down to the Walmart neighborhood market. And let me tell you, as somebody who's now lived with HEB, Walmart carries trash produce. And
They
so
really do.
To get good produce, we would have to go to Target, the super Target. So my parents still like blend to grocery shop between the neighborhood Walmart and Target.
I love Target. I miss Target.
I haven't been inside a Target since
I think
February.
we
I
went.
think that's the same for me.
I think we went last month to go, but we only went to go get something very specific. We didn't walk around and enjoy Target. We literally like walked in, got what we needed, and left. I don't know what we went there for.
You can't really enjoy Target at this point in time anyway, just because you're
Yeah.
like, I don't want to
Because if
get
you
COVID
can't
and
just
die.
openly walk around Target drinking a Starbucks coffee, then what's even the point of going?
There is no point. It's just doesn't
Absolutely
matter.
no point.
Ooh, who do I want to throw this on?
And so it begins.
Who has a little number?
Oh, I thought you meant victory points. I'm like,
What?
you all have 2. You all
No.
have
Like,
the
little
game just
numbers.
started.
No. Megan has 2 11s. I'm trying to think of what would be less problematic to put it
Or
on.
you could put it on that 2. Oh wait, you're
Not the
touching
wood.
it.
Yeah, I
The
was
2
gonna
is
say-
for me.
Never mind. Or you could
I'm
put
gonna
it
over here.
on that 12.
Or
yeah.
on that
Oh.
12.
Or
Or
on the
on
11.
me,
Well,
that's fine.
I wanted a card from somebody, so
It's,
Yeah, that makes
Sorry.
sense.
or you could have
I'm
put
being
it
mean.
down there where that ship was, and put the pirate ship
Well,
there, and
it's
then
too late now.
I mean, it is too late now. You're not wrong. So never mind. Anyway,
There are no undos in this
anybody have
Catan.
wood?
No.
I didn't
No.
think that was a thing. Well,
well,
heck. I'm gonna get one of these, which I never do.
those are good cards.
They are. They can
You've said
make
that
you win
twice
at
now.
the very last second, like I did last time.
I guess. Yeah, but no, the 2 times that we've recorded and I've gotten development cards, I think are the only times I've ever picked development cards in Catan.
Megan and I have both played before where we have earned, I think, like 3 victory point cards just from development cards. So it takes everyone
Yep.
by surprise. Maybe that's what you got. Who knows? We'll see if you play it next time. I don't know.
So, before we get completely started, and while Ben is making the wonderful juice of life that is coffee, I just wanted to say thanks to our patrons so far. We have KVGRN and Synthia, who are our 2 patrons. Yay! We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
them.
Thanks, guys.
We appreciate you.
I might as well talk about the perks now, and then I don't have to do it
tell us
later.
about the perks.
So there are 4 tiers with our Patreon if you really care about us and really want to show us some support. That all of the tiers get you access into our Discord where we record our shows live, and I guess we do talk and hang out and stuff in there. So if you ever wanted to chat with us, that would be a way. You get a shout out in the podcast like we just did, and credits in the YouTube video. And then also after the podcast, we chit chat about the next episode and more, which we release to the supporters that choose the Captain Knight or Settlers tiers. The Captain and Knights also get to tune in live on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Again, thanks to our patrons so much. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, head over to patreon.com/CatantPod and become at least a settler to
It's
hear
great.
the
We
after
talk
show.
about really exciting things in the after show, so you really should listen. It's
We
quite
do.
entertaining, if I must say so myself.
And so since Ben has already told us what he's drinking, what is everybody else drinking today? If
I
anything.
have a birthday cake milkshake from P. Terry's. So I
Which is
decided to drink
delicious.
it. Yes.
I mean, it's
so
really
good.
just with like vanilla. It's a vanilla shake with some sprinkles in it, but it's good.
But it tastes so delicious.
Well, I don't have anything that fun. I'm just drinking water tonight.
Stay hydrated.
Oh.
Water's good for you.
What did I miss?
Katie and I are drinking Starbucks.
You missed
Ooh,
Starbucks.
So good.
Yum.
I think I have a free drink, but
Yeah.
I'll probably wait to get mine.
Well, the Starbucks that we've been trying to go to, which is closest to our house, they've had that sign in their drive-thru the last 2 times saying that we're temporarily closed today, but not today. So we actually got to drive through Starbucks. Woo, woo.
Ooh.
We were excited.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook. I'm part of a lot of different like teacher groups, just to get ideas, and because people post funny things, because no one really understands the life of a teacher, I guess, unless you are one sometimes. So someone just posted a picture and it says, "I got kicked out of the Flat Earth group for asking if the 6 feet social distance rule pushed anyone over the edge yet.
Oh my gosh.
And I just thought it was really like fitting since, hopefully some of our listeners have already listened to that episode. And anyway, I just thought it was funny. And I was like, on a teacher group of all things. Huh, okay.
That's great.
That was a good one.
Awesome. So what is our topic today?
I'm so excited.
Is it going to be complicated?
Punny. Today, we are talking about Avril Lavigne. I love Avril.
Same.
Are y'all all Avril fans? Or, like, do you know her?
Yeah, I remember her music from my youth.
Your youth? Like, right
you
now?
are still youthful.
So I actually got
Isn't
to go
that
see her concert.
the lead singer of Maroon 5?
Shut up. Maegan, tell us about Avril.
Oh, it was... I mean, she was great. I was in 7th grade, so it was a while ago that it happened, but it was fun.
Prime Avril time.
It was the Best Damn Thing tour, so the CD with the girlfriend song on it.
I love Avril Lavigne. She's like a goddess. Like, she's perfect in every way.
She is pretty wonderful.
She might be the best damn thing.
She is. I forgot. So, like, I listened to Avril when she first was, like, popular in the early 2000s, and it just was so perfect for, my middle school pop punk phase that I went through, as in, I'm assuming most people here. Did y'all all go through that same phase?
I don't know very many people that didn't.
No, I was super preppy and
very much
didn't have that phase.
Yeah, I remember, go like the bus ride going to school in middle school. Like all of us basically were listening to Avril.
She inspired me when I was in middle school to paint my fingernails black. And I remember my father saw and he like flipped out and he thought I was like worshiping Satan or something. And like, I don't know. He was really mad about the black fingernail polish. So
Sounds about right. I've gotten that same treatment just for having some red highlights in my hair.
Wait, nobody told me that while I was making coffee that the robber got moved onto me.
I didn't realize that happened.
No, Ben,
Yeah,
that happened
way
when you
before.
were sitting in your chair after you got coffee.
I don't believe that.
I remember seeing it.
Had I been
move.
drinking
Coffee.
well, now you know.
Did you add something to your coffee that we're not aware of?
No, I don't have anything
Also,
spicy.
I don't think we've
apartment.
rolled any threes, so we're fine.
Ben, did you also have a like pop punk phase or were you like, but did you?
I wasn't so much pop punk as I was more into, I loved like Panic at the Disco and Evanescence, but I was really into things like System of a Down and My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Stuff that I would not look like I was into. Avril was on the light side of things.
Ooh.
Yikes.
I was super edgy.
Ooh. I was not. I listened to Avril and I really liked Blink-182 and Simple Plan. Like obsessed with Simple Plan.
I think I was in high school when I
right?
listened to like Avril and Simple Plan and stuff like that.
Oh, because it was vintage by then.
Right.
Yeah, because you were
No,
still
it
in the
really was.
womb.
Right.
Okay, so I didn't get into Avril and Panic and all those fun things until like 2006, 2007.
Well, you were late to the party.
I mean, that was my middle school time.
Again, you were late to the party, Sarah.
I mean, a little
Yeah,
bit. Again,
quite
I got into Avril with the Girlfriend album. No, we were just talking about this. It wasn't the Girlfriend album because it was whenever she had like Skater Boy was out because MTV back then still played music videos in the morning. So that's what I would watch to get ready for shows.
That was some
What?
good
Music
times
television?
too.
I
Played
know.
music?
That's crazy.
What an era to be a part of.
It really was, and I
What a time
remember
to be alive.
also
It was the best time.
like rushing home from school so I could watch TRL live.
yes, I always
Or
wanted
just
to.
TRL.
I always wanted to go and be the outside and like screaming and waving
Yes.
and holding a poster,
Yes,
but it
me
never happened.
too.
Meanwhile, when I was in high school, I'd rush home to watch the Ed Sullivan Show. Ooh. Oh, Jasmine has 5 victory points.
Yikes. Well, we better start talking about Avril so that we have enough time, because she's so important that, like, we're going to have to talk about her forever. My love of Avril has really come back, like, since learning about this to do this show.
Oh.
I missed her. There's this ridiculous theory about her life and things that have happened that I did not know about until I read about this. Apparently, Ben kind of knew about this, I think, but I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
So, and maybe it's just because I'm not in with pop culture as much anymore, but I don't know. There is a theory that emerged that Avril Lavigne died in 2003, and she's been replaced by an actor who has been portraying her ever since. So a little background on Avril Lavigne, because she's an interesting person, and I felt like y'all should know who she is in case you don't. She is a French-Canadian singer-songwriter, and she was very musical in her early life growing up. Her family was very supportive, especially her dad. She sang a bunch. She played multiple instruments. Her dad actually transformed their basement into a studio for her to practice. So she's always been around music. Music's been her thing. This has nothing to do with music or this theory, but I had to say it because it's important to me. She played hockey because she's from Canada, and everyone in Canada plays hockey. And I love ice hockey, and I have slowly brought Maegan over to the dark side, and I also love ice hockey now.
I do. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, so I get excited when I read that someone plays hockey or they like it, because I'm such an anomaly down here in Texas. When she was young, she was always playing, as most, I guess, Canadian kids do. And by the time she was 10, she was actually in a boys' league, which, like, that's so Avril.
It totally looks like she would do that.
She would. And
Yes.
She did. But by the time she was in high school, she was like, I gotta, like, focus on my music, because that's really what she wanted to do with her life. Anyway, she started singing country music, and she did a bunch of, like, country covers when she was younger. I know. Yeah.
Okay, that I did not know about her.
Now you do.
Yeah, interesting.
I feel like a lot of like pop stars or singers like either start in Christian rock or in country. I don't know why, but I feel like that is the trend nowadays.
Well, she started in country, and she did country covers, and then she won a radio contest. I saw the years 98 and 99, so maybe she won the contest in 98 and then did the performance in 99. But she won a contest where she got to perform with Shania Twain, singing one of Shania's songs, which was really cool because it's Avril.
Let's go, girls.
I know. She was discovered by her first manager while she was actually singing country covers at a bookstore in Ontario. So I was like,
Huh.
And then she was signed by, I don't know how to say it, if it's Arista or Arista Records. Ben, you always correct me.
I don't actually know on this one.
Okay, well, she was signed by them in...
But I'll Google it.
Okay. In 2000 for 2 albums. And then she debuted her first album, Let Go, in 2002. She was only 18 at the time. Keep in mind, she was really young. And it was the pop punk style. And it was just like her whole persona. And it was just her. And if you've never seen a picture of Avril Lavigne when her first album came out, or if you were not into it in the early 2000s, like some of us were here at this virtual table, then you should go look her up. Like, she's just like the epitome of like punk, early 2000s punk. She just is.
Or if your podcast player supports it, there will be a picture of her right now.
Yeah.
Arista Records.
Arista.
Arista Records.
Arista.
Oh.
Arista Records.
So she was considered a key musician in the pop punk world of the early 2000s. And she basically paved the way for other female pop punk artists. Like, she was the big one, but then others were able to come out and, like, I guess, be them and do their thing. And now she has 6 studio albums. And the most recent one actually dropped in February 2019. I don't know if she got to do a tour with it because of the pandemic stuff. I don't know. So that's Avril. That's kind of a little bit about her past, why she's a queen. But now we're going to talk about the birth of this conspiracy theory and where it came from and everything that goes into it. So in 2011, A Brazilian fan page started this rumor that basically she had died. I think it's important to say that this entire page is in Portuguese, but Google Translate does work, and I was able to actually find the page, and I linked it in the notes as well, and you can translate it. So I did translate it into English to read some of it. But it started gaining traction in the conspiracy theory world. They claimed that Lavigne was found dead in her home in 2003. Supposedly, she committed suicide, and she was replaced by her body double named Melissa Vandella. So their story is that basically the fame and stress of her music career and then just being in the spotlight all the time, like, started to get to her. So her team hired a body double to distract the paparazzi and to go out and do, you know, photo shoots or things or just whatever that they needed things done in the, you know, in the public eye. So she didn't always have to do it. Supposedly, this actress even would walk the red carpet for her.
Let me toss in a tidbit here because I was curious as to when 2003 occurred in her discography. It would be in between Let Go and Under My Skin. So in between, so I guess after Skater Boy.
Yeah, and we'll kind of talk about that second album a little bit. Because her first album came out in 2002, and then I think the second one came out in 2004. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's who this Melissa person is. Supposedly the two became very good friends, and there's actually even a picture, and this is also going to be somewhere for you to see, where she has the name Melissa written on her hand, which is weird. I don't know why she had Melissa written on her hand. Do y'all know?
I
have no idea.
Well, there's a photo going around the interwebs, and it shows her, like, with her fist out with Melissa on her hand. So, I don't know. Anyway, so while working on her second album, her grandfather died, and this loss put a lot of stress on her, and she really was grieving hard over the loss of her grandfather. These conspiracy theorists say that this basically pushed her to her breaking point, and she spiraled into a deep depression and then ultimately took her own life, and that her grandfather's passing kind of like set it off, I guess. That's the main theory of when she died or how she died. There are some other theories about her death that say that she died in a snowboarding accident and then she was replaced by Melissa. And then there's actually one theory that says she's still alive and just living her best life away from the public eye. And this Melissa body double is still continuing to portray Avril Lavigne. But yeah, so that's what the basic theory is. So they claim, or this fan page claims, they have proof of this Melissa person, but there is actually no solid evidence that this person exists, that this Melissa Vandella is really alive. There's no confirmed like social media pages or anything. I
hate you.
What did you do?
Okay, so while you were talking, Jasmine got longest road from CJ, so now she has 7 points. And then she offered to trade with me last time a wheat purse down, and I said yes. And then I rolled a 7, so I immediately put it on her because she's got the most points, and I got my wheat back.
Good for you. Congrats.
Yay.
I hope you're happy. Anyway, so this Melissa Vandella is not actually confirmed. Like, she's an actress. She doesn't have an IMDb page, which people say is really odd because if you've been in like one episode of Grey's Anatomy, you have an IMDb page. You know, like
yeah,
I probably have
true.
one. I didn't even know it. But Melissa does not. Anyway, so there's that Twitter handle that at Avril is dead. And the issue with that, though, is that her name is spelled wrong. The last name is spelled wrong. So people are like, you're not Melissa because your name is not spelled right. And you should know how to spell your own name. Also, like the handle at Avril is dead is just stupid. Anyway. Melissa, she has taken over as the new Avril, and she began dropping hints in the second album.
There goes all of that stone.
I thought you were like gasping to what I just said, and I was like, it's not that exciting yet.
No, I just rolled a 7.
It was just saying that Yeah, that Maegan has 11 cards and then a 7 was rolled, and
But the stone really patted my hand, so I didn't have to get rid of anything important.
Well, isn't that good? Nice for you.
So, Melissa, what about her?
So Melissa took over as Avril in 2003, and she began dropping hints in the second album as to what actually happened to Avril, to the Avril that we all know and love. So she leaked details in the record notes, lyrics, and some of the merchandise about Avril's passing. And there are some specific songs that have been quoted, including Nobody's Home, Slipped Away, and Under My Skin, and My Happy Ending. So these theorists say that those songs, like if you were to go read the lyrics, that Melissa is just saying basically what happened to Avril and like how it makes her feel, and I guess the emotions and things that she's been struggling with since Avril died. So 2004, her second album is released. Under My Skin was released. And that's when people started noticing more of a difference in Avril. Okay, I will say that I do remember noticing a change in her voice between her first and second album. I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but I do. With all of my middle school, junior high knowledge of music and singing, because, I was in choir, so I knew everything. Duh. I remember hearing the difference, but at the time I was like, oh, she probably just took voice lessons or whatever.
It's like as she got popular, she got money for voice coaching.
Well, there's that, and then there's also just like, her voice is still maturing. There's several female artists out there that their voices, from just the strain of touring and growing and all of that, their voice just naturally changes.
Right, and I mean,
in my
now,
opinion.
I mean, you're true. And now as a college-educated musician, your voice does not fully mature until you are a grown adult. And remember, Avril was only 18 when her first album came out.
Interesting.
So people kind of noticed a change in her music. They're like, she sounds a little bit different. And they pointed out some physical differences. There are a lot of before and after pictures floating around the internet where theorists point out changing her, like how her appearance changed. They point out skin blemishes, her nose was different, her facial features started to change. But again, like, I don't look the same as I did when I was 18. I don't know about y'all. You might. I sure don't.
I don't think I look the same as when I was 18.
I mean, I think CJ probably looks the same.
That was like 100 years ago, so.
I mean, I have a couple
I
more
think
wrinkles.
that we resemble our younger selves. We just look more adult-like now.
More mature.
But there are actually several pictures like that they like try to like they circle like the difference and they point to it and they're like, look at this. Also, all those pictures are in Portuguese and there's no Google Translate for the pictures. So if you can read Portuguese, like have at it. But I couldn't. I just could like I saw where they were circled. I was like,
I have a friend who speaks Portuguese, so maybe I will reach out to them and
you
ask.
have a friend that speaks Portuguese?
Yes, I do.
That's cool. I don't know anyone that speaks Portuguese. Unless one of y'all do and you didn't tell us.
No. I was trying to learn Portuguese, but I wasn't keeping up with Duolingo.
I don't speak anything. I took like 5 years of French and I still don't even speak French. So, yeah. Whatever.
I really need this pirate ship to go away.
Why don't you
It's
blow it up?
Yikes.
To build ships.
Blow it up.
And
That's not how Catan works.
We don't have development cards that are called bombs. So
Although we've never gone through all of the development cards, so maybe there might be one.
Yeah, but I don't think you don't get new development cards when you get expansions. So I don't think that would be.
That's fair. Okay.
Back to Melissa. So, they also point out in these pictures that there are different birthmarks. And that, I mean, I guess birthmarks don't change, but they claim that, and Melissa has birthmarks and Avril doesn't, or vice versa. One of the things I did think was kind of weird that Avril Lavigne's height has changed several times on various different Google searches, so it's not always the same. Apparently, it has changed over the years.
I mean, that happens. My height also slightly changed one year.
I mean, Well, when I like slouch over because of my terrible posture, my height changes too. But I think generally it's the same.
Is it like drastic differences, like 2 or 3
don't
inches
know.
different, or it's like sometimes it's 5'6", sometimes it's 6.5 or something, so small like that.
Okay, well, everything I looked up was always the same, but they say that there's
Okay.
different like height change. That's what they say. That's what these theorists say. That doesn't mean that I could find it because it's a theory, and I did not start this theory. And they even said that her handwriting changed over this period of time when they were transitioning between Avril and Melissa.
Okay, but my
Interesting.
handwriting changes like every hour. Like if I'm writing like a page long thing, like my handwriting will shift throughout that entire page. I guess it could have been a drastic change that they were like, this is not Avril's handwriting. Meh.
Maybe. I don't know what her handwriting
I
looks
feel like only the
so-
people like in her small inner circle would know for sure if her handwriting had changed or not.
Anyway, so I don't know. But again, that's just what they claim. I can't really prove any of that because that's just what they claim, and because their pictures are in Portuguese, and I just don't speak Portuguese, so I don't know. The other big change, they said that her style really changed drastically. That Avril would wear like, punk clothes like in her first album, and like it looked like she went to Hot Topic and like grabbed an outfit off the walls, and that was what she wore, right? But when she transitioned to Melissa is definitely like more girly than Avril, and there's lots of pink, and she started wearing dresses and skirts and things. So it was just different. It was a change in style.
You mean
I
like
feel
she
like
grew up a little bit?
that isn't a good like supporting evidence, because anybody's style can change.
I'm not saying it is.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just feel like that's not a good backup to say, oh, this is why it's Melissa. You know what I mean?
I mean, and even if when her style like changed, it was still essence of pop punk type look. It wasn't like, here is this sundress. It was like, here is this dress that you still got at Hot Topic.
Again, I'm not saying y'all are wrong. This is just what these people, these conspiracy theorists say. I'm just relaying the information to you. I'm not saying that they are right or they are wrong or you are right. This is just what the interwebs told me, sir.
Which is fair. I'm just saying, like, I'm
Yeah,
just disputing the
I'm
interwebs.
also disputing that as supporting evidence.
Good. As you should.
We're just having an active conversation on the topics at hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Saying right or wrong either way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know. It just sounds like everybody's making things so complicated.
okay, so there is a transformation of her physical person, and people also point out the transformation of her music. An argument has been made that her music has completely shifted to a more pop style, and the original Avril music is just completely gone, and we don't have it anymore. And that can be seen specifically in songs like Hello Kitty, which we don't really talk about, Girlfriend, and Here's to Never Growing Up. So, I mean, but I don't know, just look at Taylor Swift, I guess.
Yeah, like original Panic at the Disco and new Panic at the Disco aren't the same Panic at the Disco.
People can change their sound.
Imagine if people tried that argument with Cher.
I mean,
No, I'm serious. Like, Cher has sounded so different over time, and she's physically changed her appearance. Like, the Sherry... Well, if you could turn back time, you would see that Cher is completely different. So, I mean,
Yeah.
why would it be any different for Avril Lavigne?
because it's Avril.
Avril Lavigne and Cher are... Yeah, I guess.
Because Avril has to
Anyway.
stay the same because, it's Avril. What were you saying, CJ?
I was just kind of saying along the same lines, like all of us, if our styles and everything has changed over time, like it's kind of a weird piece of evidence that they're presenting.
Right.
As for why she like disappeared and now somebody's like doppelganging her.
I mean, it's true. When I was in high school, I was singing Caro Mio, how is it? I can't even say it. I was trying to be stupid. Caro Mio Ben. And 24 Italian songs and arias when I was in high school, and now I'm singing Snail Snail. So, there is a big shift in what we do. Anyway.
I really am gonna look back on your snail years as the most formative in your musical career.
It was great. I love it. You know, I've actually played the game Snail. I've played it. I have to tell y'all something, and you won't appreciate it unless you've watched Lord of the Rings. And I told CJ this the other day. Okay. So I was watching Lord of the Rings the other day. I was about to say episode 1. The Fellowship of the Ring. And
That's
anyway,
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Basically. And the part where they're trying to get into Rivendell, and Arwen is trying to take Frodo over the river to get into Rivendell to like cure him.
I know I forgot about this.
And there's these evil like horse god creatures called the Nazgul, and they do this like I'm not going to do it on here because it's going to hurt your heads, but they.
And y'all have killed
Okay,
Katie.
everyone, Katie has died.
Sorry for
Rest in
everybody
peace.
whose ears were just splintered that is listening to this.
CJ, why did you have to put it on my Wii?
Why did you have to put it on my sheep?
I'm crying.
Because that was a 12.
Oh, and a 3 is better? Much better, I should say?
It is one. It is because it's mine.
There's
Oh,
your 12.
look at that.
See,
If I
now you
hadn't
got a
moved it,
12.
if I hadn't moved it, I would have gotten my 12.
I'm still crying from the Nazgul. So let's go back to the Nazgul. Now that I am sobbing, so I left the room for a second and I closed the door and I've seen the Lord of the Rings like so many times. I have like the whole script like memorized. I know exactly what's going on all the time, like down to like the timestamp in the second. Like I'm a nerd. But there was a scene where the Nazgul are trying to cross the river, and I opened the door because I went to the bedroom. I opened the door, and Cairo is sitting down right in front of the door, and
So basically,
Cairo-
at this.
go ahead, CJ.
Okay, I don't know if you're going to make it through the story, but basically when Katie opens the door, Cairo screams at the same exact moment the Nazguls scream as the river is crushing them.
And it's the same sound.
And the sound that we made earlier, that is what Katie heard from both Cairo and the TV.
My cat is ugly. It was one of those, and the reason why it was so funny is because it scared me. Like, I was so startled at the same, because it was and the TV was really loud because I forgot to turn it down because I forgot how loud the Nazgul were, and like, Cairo was really loud, and I just, like, I lost, like, a whole 10 years off my life because of how much, how startled I was. Anyway, I don't know how we got on that. I don't know why we're talking about the Nazgul and Cairo. Dear God, I'm sorry. Anyway,
so Melissa.
There is one more proof of, or one more piece of evidence that they like to throw out there. So there was an interview some point after the switch between Avril and Melissa, and it was also after the this conspiracy theory came out, where Melissa supposedly was being interviewed, and she was asked about if she was Avril's double, and if Avril is dead, and is she really Avril, or are you Melissa? And supposedly she stumbled and she couldn't really get like a clear answer out, and she just became very nervous and uncomfortable. And the website where I read this had a link to the video of the interview, but the video is no longer available. There are many other interviews with Avril, but I don't think it was this specific one. They are interviews later on post like conspiracy theory where she was asked about it, and I watched some of the other interviews and like she doesn't look like she stumbled, so I'm assuming that video is no longer up, or I just can't find it. I don't know, but
Or she's had years to practice now, and so now she doesn't stumble about it. Ooh.
could also be very true. That could be true.
Jasmine just took longest road with 13 roads.
I did.
CJ had it with 9.
Yeah, she sure did.
Yikes.
Yeah, she like connected her starting settlement, so she's got the board cut in half.
Just
Good job, Jasmine.
Just in
Sorry,
case
CJ.
y'all are
I came
curious,
to win.
Jasmine.
No, it's fine.
I came
Jasmine
to them.
has 13. Jasmine has 13 roads. CJ has 9. Maegan has 7. And Ben has 4. So Ben doesn't have a lot of roads. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to say something about that interview video that you just talked about.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that video. You said it had, been taken down, whatever. She might be more comfortable being Avril at this point, who knows? But I was going to say, if I were to be on an interview and someone were to ask me if I'm dead and a double and filling in and all these other questions, I think I would also be caught off guard and potentially stumble over my response and not to just think that the whole world thinks I'm literally dead when I'm right here on TV. I don't know. It feels like a weird, also a weird piece of evidence to have, but
it is.
I don't know.
It's all weird. This is all weird evidence.
Yeah.
And this is why it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And why, it is weird. I mean, I don't know though. Some of those reptilian videos of Biden, those are pretty convincing. But this interview could not be found, so not
who knows?
Convincing, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. There are other really.
Imagine Biden's running mate is just an alligator.
We'll find out sometime next week.
I was prepared for you to say his running mate was going to be Avril, and I was going to be so excited because she deserves that after the life she's lived and what she's had to put up with. But
can she be vice president and be Canadian?
Oh no,
I don't think so.
I take
At this point, probably.
That's true. The rules don't matter anymore, so anyone can do anything. I think Cairo should be VP. Some of the other outrageous theories that I read was one. There's a rumor going around, and again, it's all over the internet. That said that Melissa is actually a clone created by the government to distract the public from major conflicts in the world. So they made a clone of Avril to distract us.
So they made a clone to distract us from what? From the bad things in the world, right?
From major conflicts throughout the world. Because this one clone could do that. Oh, I'm sorry, Cairo.
Yeah, because that would totally distract us from COVID right now. There's no new music, so that's failing anyway.
It's not,
I was gonna say
really working right now.
As someone who has barely even heard of Avril's music, when she first came out and supposedly did, this doppelganger switch, so I think it's funny that she, of all people, would be what they, who they decided to use as this distraction.
I mean, if it was going to be a popular person, like a singer or actor or someone, I would think that right now their clone would have to be Taylor Swift, because she is still making music right now.
I mean, I guess I kind of succeeded. For all of 48 hours, all I saw was Taylor on my social medias, but it went away pretty quickly.
There's another theory that says Melissa is, this is my favorite, I hope this is true, Melissa is actually an android or a robot that is meticulously detailed and built specifically to replace Avril by the music industry.
I love that. I love that for Melissa.
I wonder if it would be like the Black Mirror with the holograms. They had that hologram concert stuff going on in the last season. Was it last season or was it the season before?
I think that was the last season when it was Miley.
Yeah.
That was this whole time. This is exactly what it made me think of, was the Black Mirror Miley Cyrus clone
with the doll and stuff. Yeah, that was a weird one.
That's the theory. That's basically the theory. What do y'all think? Is Avril dead?
I would say no, but
I would say no as well.
Everything.
I would say yes, because there's no way she would have chosen to marry Nickelback if she'd been Avril for real.
She's not married to him anymore.
I know, but she was for a hot minute.
I mean, we don't personally know Chad. Maybe his name is Chad, but maybe he's a really good guy. I'm going to say he's not, because she divorced him.
Was this a controversial opinion? A controversial opinion of mine to say that she wouldn't have really married Nickelback?
I mean...
Okay, sorry. Well, he wrote Hello Kitty for her, so there's that.
I'm going to come out and say this, and people are probably going to not want to listen to us anymore after this, but I fully enjoyed Nickelback when I was in middle school. I liked his song, or liked their songs. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him. Okay, I liked him.
I will have to agree. I think Nickelback had some
I
good
only know
music.
that one with the picture or the photograph or whatever.
Look
right?
at this photograph.
That's a
Yeah, that one.
great
That was the
one.
only one that I knew.
I can't tell you any other songs off the top of my head except for Photograph, but I very vividly remember the whole music video for that one.
But you really liked Nickelback. But you can't remember any other song.
If I heard other songs that were if they were popular, if I heard another
So
song,
you weren't a fan. You just listened to their singles.
yes, because
Gotcha.
it was on the
Right,
radio
right,
or
right.
on MTV or VH1 when they still played music. So
Interesting.
But you really
Who
liked
put
them.
the Robert on the 10?
Not me.
Megan is picking on me now because I liked
It was
Nickelback.
Jasmine. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I don't like them now. I don't even know what they do now. I don't actually listen to any
Well,
music
I was
now.
going to say,
so-
I don't. I feel like I can't believe the Melissa is Avril theory because it just, of all people, why are you choosing her specifically? Why is the music industry doing this? Why is the government doing this to her only? Because I feel like they would have had to, chosen a few people throughout, the last 20 years to do this to keep up the ruse of distracting us from whatever else is happening,
Here's the deal. Avril Lavigne is not the only person who is like in pop culture that has a conspiracy like this. There are many, many like celebrities, I guess, who have conspiracies like
Yeah,
this.
Didn't
they say that they replaced Michael Jackson?
Like a lot of people have been replaced, supposedly. So
Well, this is the first theory I've ever heard of.
To be honest, I haven't heard of them either until right now.
Yeah.
Like until we started researching. Like it was just something I just kind of like don't listen to. I mean, also I hadn't really heard of Project Pegasus outside of Marvel, and I also hadn't heard. What else have we done? Oh, the Denver airport stuff I hadn't heard of, and like I slightly knew of lizard people, but not to the extent that I do now.
I mean, and I think
I feel like a weirdo because I'm the only one who knew about these things.
well, I've known about some of them, but I think that's all. Well, I knew about Flat Earth because I'm the one that was like, "Let's do this one for the first episode."
I think Flat Earth is also like
that's
a pretty common
common
conspiracy theory to hear about. Like, I mean, that's also what people believed in back in the day. Like that was what the deal was.
That's the theory. That's what came out. This Brazilian fan, and it really just started from this one Brazilian fan page. One page, one person. It started in Brazil, and it really gained traction in Brazil, and then it slowly started leaking out around the world. So this theory comes and goes every couple of years. Like every few years, it kind of comes back, and it shows its little face, and then it goes back into hiding. So the Brazilian fan page, though, it was the page creator later came out saying that he made it all up. It's all a hoax. He made it up. It was an experiment to prove how with the right evidence, and I say evidence in quotes because evidence, you can make people believe anything they see on the internet, which I don't think he's wrong.
Right.
So anyway, this guy who made this page, he said Avril's alive and there's no body double. He literally made every part of this story up. And so he said that, like, he has come out and straight up said that, but this theory still comes up. In 2015, a BuzzFeed reporter, his name is Ryan Broderick, he actually heard this while he was in Brazil doing whatever he was doing. He heard the hoax, or he heard the theory, and he tweeted about it, and he thought he was tweeting, making it like a joke. But he says that because he tweeted about it, he feels like he really brought it to life again, and the popularity of it spread in the United States. So prior to this, it was really like, it was a Brazilian thing. But he claimed that maybe his tweet was one of the reasons why it spread, other places.
Wow,
then-
CJ, coming
CJ.
for me.
Good
And he
job.
took my largest army.
Wow.
Ooh, this is a close
This
game.
is a cutthroat game here, guys.
Yeah, and it's going to last for a while, so we're going to have to vamp because it sounds like you're at the end of all of your information.
Oh, it's great. It's fine.
No,
I
you
saw
have
that
other
more.
random facts about Avril we can throw in.
Always. And then in 2017, the Twitter that I told you all about earlier, the @Avril is dead, the fake Melissa, the person behind that Twitter account actually came out and apologized for starting rumors, and they eventually changed their name from Melissa Vandella to The Game Is Over. So people apologize. People are like, it's fake. We know it's fake. But I think like the problem is that people, even when like these Twitter users and this page creator came out and was like, no, I made it up. It's fake. Like there are still people that believe it. And it's bizarre. Now I will say that one thing that did happen is Avril did disappear for several years, around 2015. And I didn't know this about her. And this is also, again, when one of the theories came back, right? When it was spreading again, because people were like, where is she? She's not out and about. She's not making music. And the reason why she was gone out of the public eye for she was gone for like 2 or 3 years, was because she was battling Lyme disease, and her divorce from Chad Kroeger. That's his name, right? Kroeger.
Yep.
So
no, his name's just Nickelback.
Okay, well, she had Lyme disease and she was divorcing Nickelback. So, and this time when she was like out of the public eye also lined up with when that BuzzFeed reporter tweeted in 2015. So people were like, well, you're right. She's not here. Something's amiss. But like, actually, she was just really sick. And it's unfortunate that people just assume like these crazy things when someone is just battling a disease and is really suffering. Because I read about her struggle. Like, she really suffered. So I'm glad that she's okay now, because I would be sad if she wasn't here with us.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I was going to
anyway.
say, not that the creator of that, page couldn't be like, hey, I was just kidding. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I feel like you don't hear people come out and say like, yo, this was just a giant prank. And so I feel like maybe there was some truth to it. And then he's like trying to backtrack because someone reached out to him and was like, yo, you're onto us. Can you just like not tell everyone the truth? You know what I mean? Or something like that. I mean, that could be part of it as well. I don't know.
That could be true.
I think that's the fun part about conspiracy theories is like there's all of these like what ifs, and you could say like, okay, well, what if it did happen and someone did what you said, Jasmine?
Yeah.
But like really in the end, I personally think what happened is like Avril just grew up. Like she grew up, she changed her style of dress, she changed her music. Like we all grow up.
It's funny because you say she grew up, but one of her songs is Never Growing Up.
But yeah, I think it's also just like your interests change, your style changes. Like it doesn't necessarily mean she is dead.
I think it's more of like a nostalgic thing at this point. Like people still want her to be the same and they still want her music to be the same because it's like, oh, it takes me back to like when I was doing this in this time of my life. And, like I really just think it's the fans that just keep propelling this because like ultimately I think that like some people would rather just say that she's dead and like than accept the fact that she's different and she's changing. Like the people that are really, really into her stuff like don't want to accept like that she has changed or grown up or like is an adult now and not 18. But
yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, that's my opinion. There's also like lots of issues with this conspiracy. Timelines change. Like the timeline of all this happening, like the years that I told you, that all changes. Like and I even found like discrepancies in the years and stuff. I tried to do my best at like nailing down one timeline and sticking to it, but there are many different timelines, like with different dates and like years and days and months and stuff. It just nothing lines up, it seems like, between different websites. Like they're not consistent at all. And there's multiple theories. Like, there's not just one theory about this. Like, people have made up a bunch of them. So it's just not consistent, which is really typical with conspiracy theories, I think, especially the ones that have to do with, like, popular culture. Because popular culture is such a thing that, like, the average person cannot really identify with. I mean, like, we can't. We can sit here and say, like, we listen to this music and we watch these movies or this TV show, but, like, it's not us. I mean, I don't really think that we understand, like, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but we always just need something to talk about. Like, we always want to talk about something.
And I feel like celebrities are probably the easiest to do this to, because they do have, like, their whole private life that no one is actually, like, able to know about unless you're inside their, like, inner circle. So, like, I mean, I didn't know Avril had Lyme disease, and neither did you, and I don't know when that became, like, public knowledge, but, like, I'm sure her people that she's closest with are. Or do you know? Grammar.
Yes, grammar. I mean, it's true. And I mean, we always want someone to talk about, like, and we always, like, someone, like a celebrity or someone in, like, pop culture, like, they're more exciting than we are. Like, if you think about, like, their lives, like, it's more exciting to think about what they do than, like, what we're doing right now when we're all sitting on our couch watching The Office for the second time during the pandemic. Like, come on. Like, that's not exciting. That's us, by the way. That's Maegan and I. That's what we're doing. Well, yeah.
We just finished that, so we're not doing it anymore.
Yikes.
But anyway, that's the Avril theory. That's Avril, and she's dead, and Melissa, and all the things. She's not really dead, though. I wish Avril Lavigne would listen to us. Wouldn't that be cool?
I would say we could tag her in this.
Yes. Get her to be on our list of sponsors that doesn't exist.
After Jeff Goldblum and Nicolas Cage.
I mean, she might on
and
this
O'Hara
one.
and Starbucks.
Do you think she would even want to?
Oh, and Whataburger, because we talk about Whataburger
And
a lot on
HEB.
here.
We talk about HEB.
That's true.
But it's on the YouTube. So it's still there.
Yeah.
I would love it if Avril would listen to us, but I don't think she will. I don't think that this is probably her cup of tea.
Well, that, and she probably tries to distance herself from this rumor or this conspiracy theory. So I don't believe in this conspiracy theory, but I do think it's interesting, like, that he did come, like, the guy who started it did come forward and say, no, I made it all up, JK. But it also doesn't surprise me that everyone's like, no, you're wrong. You didn't make it up. Like, we're not going to listen to the guy who started it. Like, that just sounds like people today.
I mean, it's true, but we have an issue listening to anyone today. Anything at all. I mean, look at America right now. We are really struggling.
We can't even listen to the CDC saying stay home, wear a mask. So I'm not surprised by people being like, look, you put out this theory, now you're backtracking and saying it's not true, and so now we just don't believe you. We believe your original statement.
Yeah, and it's happening everywhere.
So I'm not surprised by that.
I mean, yeah, that goes for everything. Like, we just want to hear what we want to hear. Like, if we don't like something, like, typically, like, as humans, I just feel like we don't want to listen. I did think it was weird that the one thing I thought was really weird from this conspiracy, and maybe one of our listeners will know and they'll be like, nah, this is why. But, like, why was the name Melissa written on her hand in that photo shoot?
That is the one weird thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Avril, let us know. Please tell us if you remember. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was over 10 years ago. Jasmine won.
I won.
Oh my god, there were 28
Whoop, whoop.
sevens rolled.
Y'all had a rough game. I'm so glad I wasn't playing.
28?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, our game of Catan't has finally wrapped up. So, Maegan, do you want to go over the stats for us?
Yeah. So we have the winner with Jasmine, who won with, of course, 14 points, 16 roads. Her and CJ were technically tied for number of roads, but I think Jasmine had longest road last.
I had longest road
because that's how it works. You have to have one plus one more to get longest road back. So She got that one. And then CJ and Ben were tied for second place there with 13 points. CJ had largest army during the game, though. And then I got last with 10 points. I had 3 victory point cards at the end of it. So everyone else, I think, saw, like, I had 7 points throughout the thing, but I had 10. And like I said, we rolled 28.7, so that was fun, I guess. The next highest number was 8 with 22.
Quite the game.
Yikes. Well, congrats.
But no twos.
I think this is the first time that we've held true to, like, 8 is one of those numbers that you can roll frequently in the game, according to
Statistics.
Settlers of Catan. And I think this is the first time, like, we're actually, kind of rolling true to that statistic.
That's probably true.
Well, with that being said, this was a long game. I think we should go ahead and wrap it up quickly and then head to the after show, because I only have 45 minutes until my hockey team plays, and it's time to go watch the playoffs. So, yeah.
Cool. So everyone, thanks for listening. Make sure to like, heart, star, favorite, and leave us a review wherever you get this podcast, or, leave a comment on the YouTube, however you listen to us. Don't forget, you can also watch the game we just played on our YouTube page, Settlers of Catan't Even. So now let's finally go around this virtual table and talk about where you can find us. Katie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Katie11318.
And Ben?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at bfelts91, or on my website at benjaminfelts.com.
And Ben is super wonderful and super duper talented and made our music for this podcast. So make sure to reach out to him if you need any music composed for you. Jasmine, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at _SnoopJazzyJazz. And on Instagram at PrincessJasmine14.
CJ, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at ClevengerCJ.
Ooh, and finally, you can find me at Maegan Wilson _ on Twitter and the Instagrams. It's going to be linked in the show notes because my name is sometimes hard to spell. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll be back soon with more Catan and conversation.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.